All right, good evening. Um, anyway, good evening. Welcome to the last night of Christmas 2025's streamathon. We are going to be finishing up tonight. I might. There's a chance I might come by tomorrow to do one more, but it would be a single night, and I might save those later. And I'm going to be probably. We'll see how I feel after my SEPTA midwinter trip. Anyway, yeah, we're going to be doing finishing up our VTA. We're down at Santa Teresa later on in my week. I was there for about a week. It was for a conference, and at some point I ended up at Winchester before flying out. So we're going to just be moving ahead here. Excuse me. So as we've been noticing, at least at some of the interlockings, have had 4 signal lamps. It seems at least, one of them is red. They're also aggressively approach lit, which makes it hard to see what when I say approach lit, they hold them at stop. They're dark most of the time. They must have a pretty basic automated dispatching system that really wants a train to get in close before it figures out what it's going to do. So again, 121A, it's lit up there. Both platforms have it. So here we have one of the 121A displaying a clear, just a green. The newer lines use LEDs. The earliest ones, this has been again made in 1990, incandescent. I'm not sure what they are right now, but I'm assuming they're probably the same. Actually, let me pull that up real quick. It's a pretty crazy park and ride down there. Plus, an RV park. Like, how does it even work? Like, what? Like, how do we have long-term RV parking down there? $2019. Oh, that's new. Interesting. So it appears that California has partly solved its homelessness issue or home housing shortage by turning part of a park and ride that nobody was using into an RV park. Hey, hopefully if the VTA gets some money for that, more power to them, but seems kind of desperate if you ask me. Kind of sad too. Anyway, I just wanted to see what the signals currently are there, all these years later. If they replaced them oh, come on, get out of the way, bus. Oh, no, they did replace them. Look at that. They put in LED ones. Boy, that stinks. Yep, typical Safe Train clamshells. Let's see what year this happened. I mean, I only have 19 and 2007. Maybe we can go across the way here and check them out on this side. Nope, just have 2019 on this. Wow, that's a shame. Maybe there'll be signals. Where are they? Well, there's a block station here. Okay, so those are still the Union switch and signal ones, but yeah, unclear when they re-signaled the rest of those. Anyway, yeah, I bet the signals are somewhere down in that tunnel or over here somewhere. I can't see where the beams are. Anyway, the question you are wondering what they so here we have, okay, the train that had just pulled in left on a clear, or at least is getting a clear to leave. Here we have the 121B. This is really dark now. Sorry. Just getting a couple of the ones here up. And finally, we got 2 photos. So this is what you get for a diverging clear. The lunar white, that is the key. And I think I have some other signals with yellow with a lunar. Got some nice reflections here as well. I'd have to check my other VTA pictures, but I know that, the clear, I don't know when they would use yellow. Sometimes it's just, reduced speed, whatever. I don't know. In this case, it is here's your diverging clear. I think it's, I like it. Always like the use of lunar. So yeah, the lunar is your indication of diverging movement. And this train is just about ready to pull out here. Oops. Let me do slightly better. There we go. And here is a bit of a zoom here. And that's it. We basically jump all the way. So that's everything I had on that day. I go back, I hit my hotel room or whatever the heck it is I'm doing. And this is clearly the next day. It might have actually been the day I was flying out. And I got up early enough because I was, whatever I was doing, I went down to the Winchester line. Can't really do much on the VTA light rail, simply because there's no front window, nothing I can do. The neat thing here is at the end of track, at least where the track currently ends. There's that lumber yard that might be the only customer left on the line. You can see their fixed stop markers, which I guess it's cheaper than a bulb. For a quick look. Yep, there's the lumber yard. I don't see any rail cars in there today. It's probably at least another customer somewhere. At the very least, the right-of-way is available for additional conversion into light rail. Um, again at Winchester number 973. I love the end of automatic block is what is it? Is parallel to the direction of travel. Not sure how you would see that, but okay. And some sort of this. I'm not sure if this is an identra loop, like effectively an identra loop, or if it's some kind of a ATS loop. I think that given its light construction, that this is a train to train ID routing loop. Maybe I can see the loops here. There they are. Yeah, the trains are pretty much parked over the loops, and then there's an interlocking right at the end of the station. That's the loops are. I don't know. I don't know if it's train control or routing. And here we have this D76 signal looking towards the thing. I don't know if the signals that D prefix has to do with the line. Like, is this the D branch? Might be. The other one I think had B on some of it, or the Mountain View line had B. And LRV number 927A. Yeah, when I was here, these weren't that. These are pretty much brand new. Um, um, Trying to figure out how to straighten this out. They were probably delivered in like 2003 or so. It's one of those pictures where like it just doesn't look. No matter what I do, it doesn't look level. Probably because it's a. Okay, that looks like the best I'm gonna get. Even a fisheye effect. Everything's good. You know, depending on, you can't really get it that looking level all over the same picture. And here are the crossovers themselves with the handy dandy switch labels there. I know there's another light rail. Oh, I think it was Portland Max did that too, which would be a contemporary for some of its lines with the VTA. Interesting use of how they do the signals there. I guess the operator has a central position, so they can just put like one little mast with the signals on right in the middle there. Yeah, the D on the masts here definitely indicates that D is the line prefix. So this being the last line would be the D line. The main line would probably be A, B out to Mountain View, C down to Alum Rock. That's like going to be the D76R signal, but I can verify that if there's likely going to be a. Yep, D76R. And the impedance bond there. Again, I'm not sure. Maybe that is an ATS loop. I don't know. I don't think that these are cab signaled at all. Whoop, there we go. And let's see if anyone has any comments. Huh. Like, I don't know why that quarry would close. Like, where else is the Bay Area going to get, like, aggregate? Yeah, light rail lines are a surprising source of signaling diversity in this country. Everyone seems to do something slightly different. It's interesting that's how it evolved, but I mean that's how it evolved. All right, I need to reverse the other photo. Because I have a duplicate one. There we go. This was definitely a very nice day, and it's early enough that I think that this was my flight day. Here we have the D76. These are, I'm almost positive those other ones were Union Switch and Signal. These are Harman, which was bought by GE and got spun off at some point. Harman, I forget, they were just Harman Electronics. You can see the H with a little swoosh. It's crazy that whatever that line of signals are, of how much they have, they sort of bounced around through conglomerates and ownership. Now I think they're like Linksys. Meanwhile, they never really took off like that other one did, SafeTran. They couldn't have, though they did really well in the like non-signal components. Harman Electrocode was one of the big non-track like track circuit alternatives at the time. That 18 isn't I love it when I have signal like permanent speed restrictions that are like that specific. I mean, it's nice that they were trying to get every mile an hour out of this, so good on them, but still kind of weird. And here we have the Tomlinson coupler. The coupler is independent of how it does the automatic functions. So you can have a Tomlinson coupler with these things inside the wings. That's where they have the electrical contacts. They're made and then this is the thing above the hook is the air link up, and then the two wings of the MU, the electrical contacts. So all the contacts are made. So there's the air nozzle, contacts, and then contacts. And as they slide together, these two wings are moved apart, usually by that metal flange and that metal flange there. So you can have a Tomlinson in the middle and then arrange the MU components sort of however you want. Here we have our inside number 927 showing the bulkhead cab, as well as the center section. Oh, that's the reason it was a problem. The bike rack in use. That's nice to see. And here we have the cab end. You know, it's nice to have a little bit of high floor, but I really like the real high floor. And it looks like I took this all the way back downtown. The original LRVs used full low platforms, and when they bought the new ones, they had to go around and put in like this 18-inch rise for level boarding. Is it the Santa Clara station, not the town? I believe it's like a street. I'm gonna pull out my little doohickey here. Yes, Santa Clara is downtown. Huh, there's a PSR 10. So I do also like this sort of chill downtown light rail right-of-way that they have. They just sort of like roll through underneath this tree canopy. Don't know how long that took, but it's very effective and quite nice. It's like a transit mall. And here we have 973 in the transit mall. Yeah, it's a pretty nice setup. It's interesting to do it again. What I bet that they did is I bet that they did these one at a time when they either if they still had both sets of vehicles in service. So the step vehicle could use the lower platform, ironically, and then the low floor one would use the higher platform. I believe that there was a downtown movie theater there. I wonder if that movie theater is still a thing. Was that really at Santa Clara or was that at San Antonio? Hmm. Okay, northbound is on this side. Huh? I wonder if the cinema closed. What I feel like this is the wrong platform. And not Santa Clara station. This might be San Antonio. Because that looks way more like it. But I can go way back in time. Yep, that's San Antonio, not Santa Clara. And it appears that the movie theater has indeed folded. I wonder when it did fold. I wonder if it was due to COVID or something else. Dates 2020. Yeah, it was there in 2020. It was dead in 2022. Woo, that was fast. And yeah, I remember this. I think people were even suggesting to like, go to the movies like during the around when the conference was. We were at some hotel downtown, not at the convention center. Oh, we were at this hotel. I'm pretty sure it was that hotel. Anywho. That's 9:56. You know, I was literally thinking to myself, boy, I'm glad that I went and figured out what all these stations were like back in the day, and then I go and figure out that like they're wrong. All right, that's it for part 2. We're moving on to part 3 here in just a second. There's going to be a lot of from the airplane photos. I know it's not super rail related, but it's what we got. Oh, yeah, that quarry near the there's a quarry like right on the San Andreas Fault on the coast sub. Yeah, I know. I'm aware of that one too. I guess when you don't build anything, you don't need aggregates. Yes, I think Dart uses them too. Okie dokie. In theory, I could have honestly been on my way to the airport. Um, I know I didn't check bags back then. So I could have had my bags with me. Ah, crap. I just opened like multiple ones of them. Here we have 7977A. I assume it's around the same area. These are a little blurry. Maybe I can hit this with better sharpening. Usually that doesn't work, but it seems to work on these. I assume this is also, oops, also San Antonio. It's San Antonio. I don't have to put downtown. Clearly on the... So this is before I was exclusively flying Southwest. I'd fly whatever the company told me to fly. I saved this one here mainly because, you know, DC-10s or the DC-10 MD-11 family is not doing so hot these days. But hopefully they'll still be around a little bit longer. Maybe I can even get a number on him. Fook, I can't. Oh, I deleted the other one. What is it? 138. I think I have this one somewhere. I was trying to filter out photos I didn't want to deal with. Come on, it'd be like 137 or 139. Oh wait, maybe I did this earlier? I don't know. Come on, it's got to be in here somewhere. Unless I kept them both. No, I didn't. It'd be 137. Hold on. Ugh. What the heck? Sorry, I figured I'd just be able to pull in here and get the file back from the recycling bin. 81. Well, that's a puzzler. Huh. Maybe I saved it earlier. Yeah, I got rid of these. Don't need these. Yeah, see, I only picked this one, and I have a different angle on it. I was hoping to get the name on it. Ugh. Oh, I stuck it in here. There it is. Man, I cannot read that. Like N3 something 0. I can't see it either way. Like N330FE? Or is it N320FE? Well, Google. Okay. That does does exist. Let's see if 330 gives me the same thing. No, it doesn't. So it's, yep, that's got to be it. Return to service 2019. Stored as of 2021. It looks like they might be hitting it for parts or something. Cool. Nice. There you go. Persistence pays. So this is FedEx, that thing at SJC. Yeah, it wasn't even an MD-11. It was a DC-10. So there we have a Moffett Field. God, it's fucking Ames, idiot. Let's see what I can do with this. I had a very nerdy joke that I would persist with for a while, specifically with the that the Moffat Tunnel was named after the Doctor Who showrunner Stephen Moffat. When people would point out that he was born after he was born after the tunnel was made, I'd be like, well, he's the Doctor Who showrunner. You don't think he can go back in time and do things like that? Despite the obviousness of the setup, I rarely got to use it. Few people would ever call me on it. Is it FFATT? Oh, how's that? Oh. Didn't prep that. There we go. FFEETT. Huh. I wonder if it's the tunnel is spelled differently. Ah, the Moffat Tunnel is ATT. See? You learn something new every day. So here we have Hangar 1. That was the... You can see the plane that I spotted in that... When I had that... I was trying to figure out, is that a museum plane or is that a... Is that a you know, a real one? I bet... Oh... I think that's the NASA DC-8. I bet... Oh, that looks like it. I don't know. I'm going to check. I mean, I'm sure all the plane people, the plane person, if they're watching, which they aren't, I think that's the NASA DC-8. Oh, it's not. Whatever it is, it's got a T-tail. Couldn't be a C-141, could it? Oh shit! It was. It's the Kuiper Airborne Observatory. Oh, I scrapped it. Oh, it was scrapped in 20. It was scrapped this year. Retired. It could be viewed at Moffett Field, even though it's no longer airworthy. Succeeded by a 740. I know that. Huh, I wonder where they scrapped it. Cool. Nice. All right, cool. All right, so, wow. Give me credit for being able to recognize the C-141 at under these conditions. Nice. Okie doke. Oh, wow, look at all the wind tunnels. One of them looks like a full scale one. Unless they demolished it. Oh, there it is. Anyway. Yeah, there's the full scale wind tunnel up there. So here are hangars 2 and 3. Hangar 3 having been recently demolished because apparently it was, they're made of wood and it was just falling apart. Google attempted to remediate and it just wasn't working. But they were able to, they had enough money to stabilize Hangar 2. Hangar 2 is the one at the top, Hangar 3 is the one below it. Oh, shoot. Oh, I'm going to have to redo that one. I just realized I cut, like, the wind tunnel buildings. Alright, let's do this one again. Don't usually have to go back, but it's like, wait a minute. Yeah, there's some, maybe I'll just make two copies of this. I'll make a close one, and I'll make this slightly wider one. Well, we'll see. Yeah, a little more color will help that out. All right. Back to these guys. Wait, oh. Yeah, I don't need those bent like that. I'm going to straighten these guys out. Cool. And here are all three of the hangers. Nice. All right, I can go for that. Yeah, it's neat that, like, you know, I'm out there trying to do the train history stuff, and, you know, you capture other things as well. Um, uh, oops. Nice. So, as we pull out of the Bay Area, there's the Dumbarton Bridge. Well, I don't know about the road bridge, but you can see the Dumbarton Rail Bridge. That, again, it's another bit of Bay Area infrastructure that's been criminally neglected. The bridge caught fire at some point, and then they just stopped giving a crap about it. Yeah, that part burned down. I don't know what NIMBYism is preventing it, but, like, this should have, you know, this, in a sane world, that would have been used by rail a bajillion times, but no one wants to do it. So these, if you're ever wondering what the stuff there, that's brine. That's a brine farm, or I mean a salt farm. They use they just bring in salt water from the bay. They evaporate it as it gets more salty. Different kinds of algae will grow in it, and then eventually it all evaporates out, and they just harvest the salt off. It feels like one of those insane. It's like it seems insane that would be a thing that the Bay Area would use its land for. I mean, it's not really land; it's kind of land, but it's definitely one of those grandfathered industries that wouldn't exist, that sprung up, and they just keep going along. Cool. This is sort of an opposite of the first one. Yeah, this is just your generic Bay Area photo. San Francisco looking northwestward. San Francisco and Oakland, to be fair. I can crop a little of this. All right. Ah. This I know which two that I have left to do, the last two. So this is neat. I got pictures of the Ghost Fleet, the Suisun Bay Ghost Fleet. This is one of two reserve fleets that we've had that's been rusting away. At this point, I believe the battleship Iowa was still in this one. They weren't doing so well back then, and they're probably doing worse, especially with China making like 5,000 ships now. But this is like the post-Cold War reserve fleet. We had a whole bunch of these things, especially after World War II. It kind of got down into the minimum viable state. It's, oh boy, it's down to like 3 things now. Oh, that's not good. Jeez, it's like down to like 3 ships. I guess the state of California has been complaining about it, I guess. Wow. Trying to see which of any of these were still around. Anyway, yeah, that's not looking good. Hold on. Yeah, Bay Area. Okay, here we go. M-A-R-A-D. Okay, here we go. Well, again, this is a cool thing when we actually had a semblance of a reserve fleet. And we have another one just less wide. I think that's the cat, whatever the sub is that goes to Sacramento for the Capital Corridor is right beyond that. All right, this should be it for Christmas for 2025. That should be a wrap on everything here. Thank you very much for listening and watching. Let's see if we have any comments or anything here. Oh, nice. Yeah, it's good to collect the physical ones. I just never had space for them. I've got a few things. I got a few interesting things that I've managed to grab. Anyway, thank you all for watching. I really appreciate it. We will. I might do something tomorrow. Expect. I'll schedule it sometime around 7 o'clock if I'm going to. I could also put a community note up after the trip. I thought I was going to have to rush back on Tuesday, but I'm going to have a little more time than I thought I was going to have. So that's that gives me more time than tomorrow night to do a thing. But at the same point, do I want to waste a one-nighter on tomorrow night? I don't have a lot of one-nighter. I have a bunch, but I don't have, one-nighters are the ones I prefer to do when I'm only here for one night. And I have, maybe 3 or 4, 2 to 4 of them left. So I might just save them for later next year. Okay, everybody have a happy new year. Remember to get all your stuff dealt with, make all your charitable giving and all your other end of year important things, your whatnot. So, all right. If you don't have any questions, I'll see you then.